dear colleagues, distinguished guests, partners, and friends WiN Global Community, 안녕하세요. It is a true honor to be here finally in Korea. It is a great pleasure to welcome you to this 33rd WiN Global Annual Conference here in Gyeongju. This gathering represents far more than an annual meeting of our global network. It is a moment to reflect on the evolving role of energy, on the responsibility we share, and on the kind of leadership our times call for. Allow me to begin by expressing my deepest gratitude to WiN Korea. Your commitment, professionalism, generosity embody the very best of our global community. Organizing a conference of this scale is never a small task, but doing so with such an excellence speaks of extraordinary dedication and leadership. I would also like to recognize the entire WiN Global leadership team. Your commitment and collaborative work and spirit are at the heart of everything we achieve. And in particular, my sincere thanks to Amparo Soler Martinez, our annual conference leader, for her outstanding work and for the effective coordination with the local team of WiN Korea. My sincere thanks also goes to our sponsors and partners. Thanks to you, what began in 1992 in Zurich as a visionary initiative led by Dr. Irene Egerta has grown into a recognized international NGO with more than 60 chapters with presence in over 145 countries. But beyond numbers, what truly defines us is our purpose. We were born in the early 19th, a moment of uncertainty, when dialogue was needed, when questions were urgent, and when women came together to ensure that conversations around nuclear science would be grounded in evidence, responsibility, and care. That spirit continues to guide us today, because today's challenges, energy security, climate change, technological transformation, are not only technical. They are human. They require trust. They require cooperation. They require leadership that is inclusive, responsible, and deeply connected to society. At WiN Global, we believe that leadership is not a position. It is a practice, a shared journey. And it is here that I would like to introduce a word that may not often be heard in conversations about our sector, the nuclear sector. It is tenderness, not as softness, not as fragility, but as strength. Tenderness, understood as the ability to recognize the other, to truly see them, to listen, and to respond with responsibility, has a profound power. And it is time to revalue it, to recognize that it's precisely through this capacity that we are able to generate meaningful, powerful, and truly transformative achievements. And if you allow me, I would like to make this idea personal. Around the same time I was elected to assume the presidency of WiN Global, my son was born. From that moment on, we made it a priority to thoughtfully organize our family life in order to sustain my responsibilities within WiN Global. And since then, in many of my commitments away from home, from Argentina, we have often organized ourselves by traveling together as a team. And in those journeys across different cultures and countries, I have witnessed something that gives me hope and really moves me, what children awaken in people everywhere. No matter the language, no matter the culture, there is an immediate connection, a smile return, a gesture of care, a moment of shared humanity. It is as if in the presence of a child, we all find our way back to something essential within ourselves, our own capacity for tenderness. And this, I believe, is not separate from our work, because the future of our sector depends not only on innovation, but on our capacity to build trust, to create environments where people feel heard, respected, and empowered to contribute. This is what we mean by collective leadership, a leadership that does not impose but enables, that does not include but brings in, that does not harden in the face of complexity, but remains open, attentive, and committed. In a world that can sometimes push us towards distance and indifference, choosing this kind of leadership is not the easiest path, but it's the most necessary one. And as we gather here this week, we are reminded that the global context calls for responsibility, dialogue, and constant commitment to peaceful collaboration. Throughout history, women have played a critical role in advancing nuclear knowledge as a tool for peace, for well-being, and for cooperation. Today, that responsibility continues and it grows. At WiN Global, we are committed to supporting this through concrete action, by nurturing women and girls, by strengthening leadership pathways, and by building bridges between local action and global impact. Because diversity is not only a matter of fairness, it is a driver of innovation. And inclusion is not only a value, it is a condition for excellence. So, dear colleagues, dear friends, as we begin this conference, I invite you to carry this spirit with you. A spirit of openness, of collaboration, of shared responsibility, and also a spirit of tenderness. May this week inspire bold ideas, meaningful dialogue, and new partnership. And allow me to close with a wish for each of you. I wish you a time full of tenderness, the first condition for care, for support, and for truly accompanying one another. May you always find your way back to tenderness, even when the world insists on making you hard. Thank you so much. 감사합니다.